All right. Today's date is 1st May 2025. Uh, and I have a topic. I was supposed to treat two topics today, but man, I had a lot on my table. But I'm losing sunlight. That's why I'm rushing. Let me at least treat one. Then tomorrow morning before I'll go to work, I will treat the second one. I will only be able to treat only this one today. All right. What's the topic? I think it was about failure. The next one is failure. Let me confirm. Give me a second. Okay, I've seen it. How we are so scared of failure. How we are so scared of failure. Let's talk about that a little bit. How we are so scared of failure. If I tell you that failure doesn't exist, that you are the one creating it, will you believe? In other words, you are just scared of something that doesn't even exist. You are just scared of something that doesn't exist at all. Explain failure to me. Explain. Anyhow, just talk to yourself now. Pause for some minutes and ask yourself, what is failure first? Understand what you are even scared first. What is failure? You are so scared of failure that you are wondering why you are still in one spot, even when you know that if you should try this and try this, it will take you out of that spot. But the fear of failure, that what if me going out to try this, I fail, what would be my fate? That maybe has automatically created a serious fear that has mandated you to take whatever thing that you are taking here without thinking of moving forward. Fear of failure. Come on. Now you dey fear failure. Now you dey fear failure. I'm telling you. You need to see how failure is dealing with us. I wonder why I have not talked about failure all this while. Failure is very, very important to treat. Failure. When the source is always very, very weak and always depending on something, it is very, very possible because when you fluted, when you disconnect a man from his root, that means you are fluting the man. And because you are floating, you will always not have balance. You will always be so scared of a lot of things because you are fluted. If you will fall, you are fluted. But an African man who is rooted, no matter what will happen, he knows that whatever thing that happen, highest that thing will do is to shake me like this. Because I am rooted in where I am coming from. I was making a video where I was explaining how our people here, immediately they cross the Atlantic Ocean to stay here in America, automatically they condemn home completely. They rebuked home. They don't even wish that home should happen to their worst enemy. They are now in paradise and they want to die and bury and even raise their own generation here in this paradise and forget about home. Since the government has refused to fix home, let home just bam. Highest I can do, I should go there and visit and come back. That's what they will tell you. And they will just go there, stay. That is why most of them, when they are coming, they don't stay more than 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month max, and they will go back. And it must be something that is bringing them, either burial or wedding. Welcome. That is bringing them. You understand? So, when a man is fluted, he automatically lost his instinct of strength that should give him that balance. You can be balanced only when you are in your culture. I can explain this anyhow you want me to explain it. So because you are fluted in life, your subconscious is always under fear of failure. What if I fail? I'm already floated. What if I fail? My survival is already depending on this thing. What if I fail? That means I will not have what to even eat. I will die. What if? By so doing, because of what if, you refuse to push forward and you get trapped in that stage of your life. And then you do that stage of your life for years till you retire. This was the fate of our fathers. Fate of our fathers. Our fathers left the culture. Our fathers left, our direct fathers, I'm not talking about our forefathers. Our direct fathers left their culture that preserved men and get floated. And whenever they are struggling to push forward, fear of failure will always make them stay in that level. Because at that level, at least they are okay and they are surviving. But they cannot push forward. Because each time they think of pushing forward, it's either it will require them losing their job or it will require something happening to them. I don't know how you want me to explain it more than that. I don't know. If it's only smart people that will understand this video, I'm okay with it. Even if only one person watch this video and understand what I mean, explaining failure, I'm okay. There's no better way I can explain it more than that. So what is the solution? Epresso, ERT, revolutionary thinker. You always bring in, I'm not like that prophet that will tell you, this is your problem, but I don't have solution. Let's go and pray for solution. I don't bring a problem and then I don't come with solution. That is one good thing about me. I bring the problem and table it and open your eyes to it and even bring solution. That is why they called me Epresso, revolutionary thinker. Because I do the thinking to bring it in. I do the thinking to fill in the gap. Someone was asking, very dark man, I don't know. I cannot just stop making one video without calling this guy. Okay. Now, someone was saying, very dark man, how do you know that this governor, this is doing with this wicked stuff and this wicked stuff? How do you know? And then under the comment section, I wanted to type. I said, no, let me go. I think, or maybe I posted it under his comments, that the reason why he's able to see all these things, it's very simple. It's because he's thinking. The reason why you are not seeing it because you are not thinking. Your mind is in something else. He has the time that his mind is not in any other thing that is bothering his life. So he sits down and think about it and sees the answer. You cannot think about it because you have a lot of things. Either your marriage is bothering you, your wife will kill you. Or your boss at work is pressuring you with work. You don't even know how you fulfill the next tomorrow's task or meet up with targets or on all of those things, which you are struggling day by day to preserve your survival because your survival is depending on that job. You see how you are floated? You see how you are floated? The day they tell you go, oh, you feel like you will die the next day. You see Nigerians, if they tell them they are going to come and deport them, Jesus, everybody do. Oh, very funny people. Anyways, the bottom line is when a man has the conscious, all these things start from your mind. Have the consciousness of abundance. But before you can have the consciousness of abundance, you cannot just imagine abundance. That is you having faith, and that is you gambling. You must connect that abundance to something. And what is that? You must trace back to your roots and ask yourself, how did my forefathers survive without passing through all this suffering? How were they surviving? Immediately you will notice that agriculture will come in. By so doing, you venture into agriculture. When you go into agriculture, you will notice that you will produce food, you will produce something on earth. Part of your problem in this life is that you are not producing anything. You are just a consumer. They are calling you consumer. You are not contributing anything to the society. That is why you are poor. That is why the government is using you, doing you anyhow, anything you like. You are not offering anything. But immediately you start producing something, you now have something to offer. Have you seen it now? Let's say now you go in and produce cassava. When something happens, you now have cassava to offer and said, I am hungry. I will give you my cassava. Can you give me your plantain? So the base root of going back to your roots is that you will produce food. Why is it so important that you should produce food? The reason why it's so important that you should produce food is because when a man controls his stomach, when a man is the one controlling his stomach, he can now have time to think and do other things. But if a man doesn't arrest his stomach, every now and then he needs to calm down. When he's thinking, he needs to also calm down to be thinking about the stomach. You see? So it will be too hard on the man. Sometimes the man cannot take some decisions because he knows it's going to affect the stomach. If I say I am a good man, but if I say yes to this man, if I say no to this man, they will fire me. And if they fire me, I don't have any other job to do. God forgive me. I have to say yes to it. And you say yes to that corruption or that bad thing that happened there. Because the stomach is not... but if the stomach is okay, you will now be able to make decision very, very clearly. You now know, okay, even if I lose this job, I will still have food to eat. Even if I'm a medical doctor, one day something happened, they fire me and they seize my license. I will not go back to square one to be begging people for money. I can stand my ground and even resign if they are not paying me well. Because I know I have food where I am getting food. I can stay without doing anything, but at least I will have food. But you say no, and I don't know what I am saying. No problem. No problem. Anyways, let me round up this class. The bottom line of this class is that understand one thing. This is me bringing solution. Understand one thing, that fear that you have in your heart does not exist. It is an opposite force of you rebelling against you to control your current reality. This reality that you are living now, you moving forward is a part of you that is in your mind that wants you to move from this level to another level. Let's say primary 1 to primary 2. You want to move from primary 1 to primary 2. Now, there is a force that is behind you moving from primary 1 to primary 2. Now, you have another you that wants to stay in that primary 1. Still you. You have another you who enjoys that primary 1 for whatever stupid reason, I don't know. Now, that you that wants to stay in primary 1 will always be fighting that you that wants to go to primary 2. Until that you that wants to go to primary 2 will win this you in primary 1. That is when you will now get that freedom to move and stay in primary 2. Else, each time you battle that fight to fight and win and go to primary 2, primary 1 always win. You will drag you back and you still remain in that primary 1. Have you seen how it works now? So now while you are in primary 1, when you want to move to primary 2, fear that you after putting all efforts you will lose and still come back to primary 1 will not allow you to try to move to primary 2. That fear will not allow you, because the primary 1 will always tell you that if you try to fight me, primary 2, if you try to fight me, I will kill you. If you try to fight me, I will make sure that you suffer. Try me. And you will be shaking. Oh, he will make me suffer. Let me not try. I'm okay with this primary 1. So that I will not go and lose this primary 1 and even have 0. That is fear entirely. The day you say fear, you do not exist. I'm taking this action. I have been thinking this thing in my mind for 10 years. Let me take this action and move. Let me take this action and move. You will always remain in primary 1. So it's a charge from me to men. Wake up and understand that fear is an illusion. The fear, you are the one creating fear. Fear does not exist. It doesn't exist. The only thing that shouldn't make you start thinking or doing evil or anything. But understand that even though fear does not exist, the world is run and ruled by consequences. If you commit crime or you do anything, the kind of consequences you will bear, you will know that this life, they are men that is ruling them. Live a decent life in the society. Contribute as much as you can to the progress positive way to the society. Think of doing things in good direction and in good way. Always imbibe the habit of being sincere at any point that you are. Let people call you any other name, but let not tarnish your image by saying you steal or you do any bad thing in the society. So the society was to be made sane, because human beings, even animals, are not creating chaos in the society. Why are man, the intelligent ones, are the ones creating sane in the society. A man has the mind to kill another man and take life, to buy another man and take life that he has not created. You don't even know how life comes about. You take it. You take it. How? Where is your conscience? How? And ask this man. This man is not even producing anything as little as toothpick. He cannot produce toothpick. He cannot even produce the shoes he's wearing. He cannot produce the clothes he's wearing. But he has the mind to take life. This is wickedness. Man, let's step up, please. Human beings, let's step up. Human beings, we are the apex of creation. Let's step up and understand that we have one purpose in life, which is to live peacefully. When we live peacefully, every other thing can thrive. When the water is not settled, you can never see it. If the waves is shaking, you can never see clearly, and you will fall. But when the water is steady and clear, you can now pause and see it very clearly where to put your next foot. All this one that we are doing in Africa, I don't even understand. Let's all settle and see what is happening and see how we can come together to fix it. It has happened. It has happened. All these years, our fathers has been shouting. But it's time that we, the millennia, this our set, this our generation, it will be echoed in history that in the days of ERT, in the days of VDM, in the days of Ihedi, in the days of Toure, that Burkina Faso president, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing his name well, I'm sorry, sir. That there were men who stood their ground and voiced out, absent fear. Because fear does not exist. You keep quiet, you both of you split without any unity, and they kill. But if you understand that fear, you are the one creating fear, you will not have any fear. You will be able to come out and stand your ground. And that can only happen when you have a consciousness of connecting back to your culture. Thank you very much, Ebre Sokweswa. You're a revolutionary thinker.